Hi guys, and welcome again to this channel. Welcome again to this channel. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. Thank you so much for viewing my my YouTube channel, for subscribing. Thank you so much. So today, this is just a short video. Especially this is a short video, and I want to say, especially these Africans, us Africans, we are losing our culture. We are losing our culture, especially us Africans, and we may not notice it. We may not notice it, but we are losing our culture. We are losing our culture. And what is our culture? We were told, coming from the, for me, I was brought up in Kawangware, that is in town, that is around town, and my dad came from the village, and then we settled in Kawangware, that's a slum, and that's where I've grown up all my life. And growing up there, is one of the, in a slum, is one of those, I've talked to on this channel a lot about growing up, sharing and everything, and sharing those, a lot of spaces in Kawangware, because we used to live in a single room in Kawangware, both my parents and my siblings. We are 7 of us. And why am I saying we are losing our culture? A few days ago, what happened is my brother is getting married, and when my brother is getting married, sometimes it's very tricky. Let me summarize it. It's very tricky because now we have lived in Kawangware, and way back we used to, you see, our uncles really played a very important role when we were maybe young and maybe in the village, because they were like, especially when you're a boy, on your aunties also, when you're a girl, your aunties played a bigger role, actually, in advising you and giving you a good way where you can follow. But when we settled down in Kawangware, in a town, now you find yourself like, you don't have an uncle, and your uncle you left in Shago doesn't come to visit you regularly. Maybe one will out of 20, one will from both sides, your mother's side or your father's side. You find like 1 or 2 will come and visit you, and they may not be able to give you a genuine advice, because now with this age of internet and everything, being brought up in town, especially those uncles who come from the village, they find you advanced so much that you are having your phone and everything, that you are the ones who are teaching them how to use their phone, or you're teaching them how to do this. You're teaching them how to shoot a good photo, how to open a TikTok account, how to open an Instagram account, and how to open maybe a Facebook account. And instead of them advising you, you're the one you're the one who you're empowering them instead of them empowering you. And that's how we are losing our culture. And so when my brother is getting married, one thing, our uncles used to play a bigger role. And right now, I think, even now, you find that instead of involving our uncles to our, maybe when you want to marry, you are involving strangers, total strangers, not family members, nothing. You are just involving strangers who you met in Nairobi. And you see, in Nairobi, we all have different cultures. In Nairobi, everybody has different culture. And your culture is not my culture. Especially in Kenya, we have 47 tribes. So you find your culture, no, 43 tribes, I think 42, 43 tribes. You find that every culture has their way of life on how they do certain things. Even the bride price, this is how they do it. And you find that now that we have intermarried, there is a lot of things we have left a lot of culture we've left behind. A lot of culture we've left behind. And even we don't know what is what. And I think that's what is eating a lot of us millennials, because our parents came here and we lost our culture. And I think culture is one of the most important things in the world. We may think wewe ni mjanja, you may be you're wise because you are brought up in town, but you find like tribes like there in China, the Mongolia people, they're still holding, on this 21st century, they're still holding their culture. And they are the most maybe advanced, they're maybe in the first world countries. But you find other, they're still holding to this culture, because there's a culture. Culture brings identity. It brings identity, and identity is very important. It brings confidence. When you approach people, you are confident on what your culture is. But right now we are all over the place and we are losing our culture. And losing our culture comes with a lot of consequences. And you can witness right now on this current generation, we are all adapting to the Western culture. Weddings is a Western culture. For us, maybe for the Kikuyu, we call it rurashio. And for Kambas, we call it something, I don't know. In every tribe, there's what they used to call that traditional wedding. But because the church came, and when the church came and the white people came, they introduced us to the wedding thing, church wedding thing, and we end up pushing a lot for that and wasting a lot of time in that, instead of following, because our cultures were very simple and direct. But because the white guys came and really told us that is our culture was primitive. Our cultures were primitive, so we need to adapt with that, and that's what we see right now. And everything is just from when you're born to when you're circumcised, to when because even when you're in circumcision, our culture, our uncle played a role. But right now we have hospitals, we are living in slums areas. So how do you want me to follow a culture, my culture, when I'm living with the same room with my dad? My dad can change, can go to bathroom, out, come, change in that same room as me. My mom can go to the bathroom and come and change in front of me, change her clothes just in front of me. What is that culture? Is that a culture? Like you can see your parents' nakedness, and we are calling it like we feel like we are very wise, and we are advanced because we have technology, and we can edit photos on TikTok and post when you are dancing. For me, I don't know how about you, but for me, I think that's one of the things we are losing, and we need to go back to that. As Africans, we have a very rich culture, and we should not destroy it on some things, small things here and there. Please, let's maintain our culture. It's very important, and try as much as possible, invest in your rural home. I know it's very hard. We left to the city, I know, to change the home, but most of us end up dying in the city and being taken back when you're to be buried, only to be buried. So let's embrace our culture, and let's go back and let our children love the culture, even if how bad it is. That's what will build us. That's what our culture is. So thank you so much. See you on the next episode, and don't forget to like, give a thumbs up, share, and hit that subscribe button below, and see you on the next episode. And don't forget to comment about your culture and what it entails. I will break it down a few in the next episode. I'll break it down more, and see you. Bye.